Hello everyone, how are you? I hope everything is fine. I will not detain you. Put likes, subscribe to the channel, and enjoy watching. Story 1 from user deleted. Being nice, as opposed to being honest or authentic, is largely conditioned into men by women. Either their mothers or in schooling. Usually absent from parenting of father or good male role models. You need to get in touch with your real and honest, deeper desires, and identify how you are conditioned to manifest your feelings in the inauthentic way that isn't working for you. Takes some self-work and effort. You will find that the be nice trope is largely engendered to serve the interests of some abusive women or psychopathic men who gain real parasitic benefit from you not acting in your own authentic way. Because usually being authentic means confidently demanding reciprocity from others in your relationships. And parasites preemptively need to remove that voice from you. Hence your conditioning of be nice to them, so that they walk on you consequence and reciprocity. Free you may also hide under being nice banner as a means of detachment from aspects of your personality. If you have been raised as a child to feel your sexuality is gross or evil in your mind, you need to constantly hide your sexual interest with women. If you can't comfortably negotiate what sexual needs or expectations you have when you are dating, you are dealing with your sexuality partially fragmented from your personality, hidden under the rug. On the one hand, you are struggling to satisfy your need. On the other hand, your needs are registering to you as evil and unwelcome or unwanted by others, stuck between two beasts, and that's a door to many more layers of dysfunction. You need to bring these two needs together so that you can respectfully and reasonably satisfy your sexual needs with women who mutually are interested in same, without feeling the need to be covert and disingenuous about it. Obviously, being honest with women in communicating your sexual needs may seem very unnatural to you, because that means you may get rejected in a flash. But this is fair to them, because if you harbor this secret desire to sleep with them against their free judgment by means of manipulation, while faking niceness, it is kind of messed up and disingenuous to women and narcissistic for you to carry out and conduct your needs this way, using and deceiving others in the process. A woman reads your net worth to her and evaluates you. If you are good for her, she won't have problem being sexual with you. If you are not worthy to her, no method of buttering her up to get sex from her is appropriate. The faster you stop trying in that relationship, the better it is for you and her. In the long run, a parasitical woman is a woman who knows this game well and who uses you with a carrot on a stick in front of you, leading you to her objectified uses of you. So getting out of this be nice game is going to save you first. From this vulnerability, you also need to root out the fear of rejection or losing friendships. It's not a real friendship if you can't be real, you with them. Anyway, people actually gravitate towards strong, authentic, eccentric personalities. Don't be afraid of standing out from the crowd. Story 2 from user DarkKnight95SM. Depends on the type of nice guy you are. Also in honor we're nice guys. I spell it without a space because there are genuine nice guys out there that shouldn't be lumped in the same group. Type 1, the manipulator type. Someone already said this, but most nice guys are this type because they are nice to you. So they get what they want, be it sex or a date. And once you reject them, they freak out. Sometimes they are like this intentionally, in which case there is no hope of changing, and sometimes they are genuinely nice, but get overly attached and lash out. Usually it's more of a mix. Both are bad, but with the second, there is hope. If recognize what you are doing, it brings a self-awareness that could help stop yourself before you lash out. Just breathe. And if you need to write down what you're feeling, do it, and then delete it. Type 2. The I only want sex. Type they tend to only want girls for sex. And this does pair well with type 1. This type can appear solo in the form of a guy that will text a girl want a bone or something forward like that. And when she doesn't say yes, he won't actually flip out, but just not talk to her for months with another text saying want a bone. The only deep conversations these guys have with girls are about the relationship between guys and girls, and how it's only about sex. And considering some girls actually would agree with this idea. Sometimes that girl is arguing for how that's a lie. This type is hard for the guy to get over it, because he genuinely believes what he is thinking and argues with people about a lot. and just thinks that they have a higher understanding. Usually takes a girl not willing to sleep with him, or that he is so passionate about that he doesn't want to sleep with another girl. Sorry to break it to you ladies, but that rarely actually happens. Type 3. The creepy but genuinely nice guys. So this one's personal, because I was still is one of them. They are usually socially awkward, and because of this, they get a perfect relationship concept in their head that is just unrealistic. They are usually understanding about the fact that some girls are just not interested, but don't understand why they tend to have stalker-like tendencies towards the girls that they are interested in. If mixed with type 1, they can be dangerous. But in my experience, I have never met, nor have I ever gone to that point. Sometimes this type will post online about how girls never go with nice guys, but always jerks if they do. Then they are leaning towards type 1, if not a full mix, but not a dangerous amount. Basically, want makes this type creepy, is the uncomfortable amount. Attention they give girls. They are interested in how high of pedestal they put them on, and the way they too nice to them. This type can also say stuff like, "I would treat you better than your boyfriend," I said was still. Am I really don't know? Because it has been a while one of this type. I mostly gave an uncomfortable amount of attention towards them. Knew things about them. I think they remember even telling me, possibly never did tell me directly. I don't always know how I know things. I just do. Sometimes put them on a high pedestal. Want to spend way more time with them than they did with me, and was way too nice to them. I was a 100 type 3 with 0 of the other types, because I wasn't seeking sex, and I was understanding that they were just not interested. If I lashed out, it was not towards them, but in anger towards myself. Not physically. Though my problem was that, even though they weren't interested, I still wanted to spend time with them, and this led to me having boundary issues. How did fix this? I learned that texts are good. Get back to me. When can method of communication? So if they don't respond right way, then it's not a big deal. I don't need to be around them always, and I don't need to know where they are. Always, this was a very bad issue. They are not perfect. They have issues, and those issues are not always yours to fix, nor do they always want them to be fixed. It helps to put focus on others for a change. Talk to other people and get to know them. And maybe you only like them because you're in your own little bubble and spent too much with them already, be it in your head or in person. Also, stop imagining a life with them, especially when you are still getting to know them. It will be different than you remember in real life. Lastly, sarcasm and joke. Insults can build a relationship and keep things fun. Don't get too serious about the relationship, but also don't be afraid to be open. Also, don't just randomly say your greatest fears to them. Unwarranted. Type 4. The racist type. I recently saw this type for the first time, are nice guys. And it was weird. So the guy wasn't racist towards women of other races, but only men, and would get upset if a woman chose a non-white male as their partner. It was disgusting, but seemed to be an offshoot of a type 2, but I didn't see him upset. So might have been a type 1 as well. All I can saw is don't be a racist. Maybe get to know some non-white men. Edit anyway. Hope this helps. There were plenty of other good advice on this thread. Basically, it comes down to treat them like a human being, and when they say no, stop obsessing over them. I have typically found that it's hard to get over them if you continue to hang around them. So if need to take a break from them, it's okay. Like 34 weeks should do the trick. Come back with a fresh state of mind as a friend. Story 3 from user Nazuke12555. I have found that more than one of those memes were uncomfortably similar to shit I have done in the past as well. What helped me change, for what I think the better, was reflecting on my reasons for why I would say, feel those things. Taking a serious look at my shortcomings, building empathy, and continually shaping who I want to be. I would lash out because I felt angry and impotent. I thought I was doing everything right, but I was getting nowhere. I followed others' advice. I was clean, I was a good person, but nothing seemed to go my way since I was doing everything right. They must be what is wrong. Whenever things wouldn't work out, My emotions would flare and compound, so that each new time I would get angrier than the last because they would just prove me right, more as soon as I heard that they weren't into me. My move was to ghost. It was hard for me to see why can be undesirable. It has always been built up to me that I have so many things going for me, but nobody wanted to date me. I couldn't get my head around everyone around me who had all these glaring flaws could succeed, but I who had all these great qualities couldn't get anywhere. I was only looking at the good in myself while only looking at the bad in others. Seeing that and truly critiquing my flaws helped build some perspective. A big aha moment for me was when I realized that I didn't care about how they felt about anything. I would remember facts about them when they felt bad about something. It became an opportunity to comfort when they felt good. It became an opportunity to bond. I realized that I didn't really see them as a person. Rather, I saw them as a thing in my life I interact with, kind of like a video game. They were there for my entertainment, and they had no feelings of consequence. Regardless of what I did, empathy is a skill. Some people start out better than others at it. But it is something that can be trained and built upon. I was not great. Starting out, I would say tons of things to get reactions, but I never thought about how I made others feel. I started to be as aware as possible of how others were affected by the things I did. I would analyze things into the ground before I said anything. It took a while to get the hang of not saying shitty things, but as time went on, it got easier. I was able to filter out the bad ideas more quickly. I still think of shitty things to do and say, but I can more easily tell how others will perceive it. I never had great self-esteem or much confidence. I have tried to work on this with myself with varying degrees of success. Mostly, what I have found that helps is figure out what you like about yourself and work to keep that figure out. What you don't like about yourself and look on how you can improve. You don't have to throw yourself out completely and become a new person. You also don't have to change everything at once. The most important thing that I have found for changing yourself is that you will fail. You will go back to your old ways for a bit. Those toxic feelings and thoughts will show up from time to time. The key is being able to recover and move forward. Hang in there and keep striving for better. Story 4 from user Chilima: being nice is about overcompensating, and so the goal is not doing that. And how to achieve this is a balance. First, I suggest you start by drawing up some ground rules. Can be anything from not taking bad attitude from people to staying up too late, waiting for a text reply. This represents your true desire, your inner boundary. Next, figure out what are the standards on the same for others. Ask questions, seek advice, be open-minded and don't discriminate. Ask the young, the old, the girls and guys. Friends or mentors ask PPL whom you trust on the topic with reasonable judgment. I don't ask PPL who don't cook on how to cook. This is the outer boundary, the norm for you to use as reference on when and how much you should compensate to a situation. For example, when is it okay to pay for a meal or reasonably expect to split a bill? Finally, own up to what you test and do. What you are really trying to find is an inner anchor point, inner peace, so to speak. Now, my friends would say I am nice. So do my colleagues, and my GF thinks it's a very good quality that I have. But personally, I don't wear this like a badge at all and focus on the thinking in a slightly different way when someone needs help. I think about whether I should help, how to help, and at the same time am aware of the external implications and the internal ones, such as whether I am feeling too lazy, ATM, or whether I like the said person enough to give a shit. Maybe it sounds crazy, but I also keep track on how long I spent on thinking about something. This to me shows how much I care about the said thing naturally. And so maybe for the exact some reasons, I am still being taken advantage of my time, my resources in business or in personal life. And maybe I won't ever become greater at something because I chose invest differently. But in all honesty, I got zero anxiety on this issue because I know this certain unique formula of mine got me this far. I am pretty happy with the results so far, and most important of all, I keep track of where things are at. Yes, even instances where I knowingly am taken advantage of, and I am confident that I can pivot again and again as the circumstances call for it. I If you are thinking about a girl for 3 hours a day, do something about it. Talk to her. Call her, fix whatever fight you might be on, or go make your first move. If you find out she only thinks of you for 3 minutes a day, it is you who are thinking of her too much. It's not her, not thinking enough about you. And so drop your shit and spend time on those who cares about you, like friends and family. And finally, if your so continues to treat you like crap, drop her, don't need to harm her. Just move on. And if you're scared about whether that's the right move, that's probably because you didn't do the above parts right. Not enough to act with conviction. It is okay to buy someone a meal every day. Just know that there can be thousands of implications following that move, from being eternally grateful to seeing you as a genuine sucker. And as with showering a girl with hordes of gifts, some girls will buy, and some can't be bought. Some will become materialistic, and some will not. Some people will change, and some won't. I guess the summary is, this is a 1,000-year-old search for wisdom. And in light of this question, we are all very, very young. I can say I have the winning formula. Though if I did, my advice would be 1, always stay aware. 2, always act with insights and foresights. 3, always own up to what you can do in everything. Because what you can control is you, and drop everything else that you can't control. Sorry if it's all over the place. Hope this will help y'all find your own balance. Thanks for watching. Do not forget to write comments, subscribe, and like. Until soon.